Today is not a great day in crypto. Most cryptocurrencies go down, but the Champ token is going up. What's going on here? Why is everybody buying Champ? Let's have a look at how much longer this rally can last and if this is a natural rally or if this is a pump and dump. We are going to look at on-chain data. We are going to look at what is driving the price action. We don't draw random lines on charts. We actually try to figure out what's currently moving the prices. Now here are the largest trending tokens on the base chain. And the Champ token is at place number 9 in terms of liquidity. There's 6.4 million locked up. And just have a look at the performance in the last 24 hours. Most things went down, but Champ is like its champion. And so this is then how that looks like on a price chart. We have seen way more buyers than sellers today, 62% buyers, only 38% sellers. And the buying volume relative to the selling volume is even more out of balance. Now, in order to figure out where the price might go, we can't just look at the website. This is a mistake a lot of people do, right? A lot of people just look at the very easily accessible data. I think it's more important to look at what's actually happening on chain. Now, before we look at the on-chain data, I always like to look also at the social metrics, as in, is there potentially some kind of manipulation going on? Does it make sense when we look at the number of holders relative to the number of Twitter followers, relative to the number of followers on Telegram, for example? Now, on Twitter or the X platform, we've got 434,000 followers. That's a huge account. The Discord channel has only 4,800 members, so roughly 1% of the Twitter followers. This is not really natural. The ratio shouldn't be 100 to 1. The number of holders on chain, on the base chain, is 7,000. So something seems to be going on with that Twitter account. I'm not sure if those accounts are bot accounts or if there was a big promotion to follow specifically the Twitter account, but this is definitely not natural. The token ownership is somewhat concentrated. 19% of the entire token supply is in a single wallet, and other wallets also own quite a bit. The smaller wallets only hold 7.5% of the supply. Now, one might think that that's okay because maybe a lot of centralized exchanges own the token, but that is actually not true. The trading happens on Aerodrome, so directly on the base chain. And so we see a real shift happening since the 20th of November. A lot of new users entered the token, more than 10,000 on a single day. Yet currently today there's less than 7,000 holders. So a lot of accounts that bought the token and subsequently sold everything again. On the right side, we see the same kind of data, but here normalized to 100% per day. So how many returning users are there versus new users per day? We can ignore this data point on the 18th of November because at that day there was not a lot of activity, right? 1 new user versus 8 returning users. Not a data point we can infer anything from. Here we have got something very similar. This shows the number of buyers and sellers per day. And again, a massive spike on the 20th of November. But it's still interesting to see how this is fluctuating, right? This is not very stable. Recently, we do see more buyers than sellers, as we did today, but it's not really a constant predictable trend. Now, there are 2 ways a token price can go up. Either the whales buy up everything and they support the price, or it's a lot of small retail investors that organically grow, that tell each other about the token, where the investor base is growing over time. Let's have a look at what's going on here. On the left side, we see the number of wallets that have at least 20,000 Champ tokens. So at the current price, that's roughly $1,000 worth of the token. On the right, we've got the wallets that have at the current prices roughly $100,000 worth of the token. In the middle, it's exactly something in between. It's a minimum holding of 10,000. So we've got 1,000, 10,000, $100,000 in minimum holding of the token. And again, this does not look very natural. Yes, we do see accumulation across the board, but this is not organic growth, right? This is like a step function. This could also be a lot of bot accounts. Now, crypto as a whole is currently expanding very, very quickly. What we've got behind me is the stablecoin market cap. And this is a 3-year chart. So it starts in July 2021. And we peaked in the stablecoin market cap in April of 2022. Over here, what happened was the Terra Luna collapse. So this is when Anchor protocol went bust. This is when UST depegged. The market as a whole shrunk. Money was flowing out of crypto. And this is also where FTX collapsed. And then we saw the turnaround in October of last year. Now money is flowing into crypto again. And that's recently accelerating. The stablecoin market cap going up means, of course, that money is flowing from fiat into crypto. And that, of course, means that prices across all of the crypto space should continue to rise. I really like this chart because it has very little volatility. We can see the trend very clearly. In the short term, though, we might be slightly really heated. What we've got over here is again a stablecoin market cap chart, but this time that's not in US dollars. This time it's relative to the entire crypto market. So you might have heard of the Bitcoin dominance chart, right? How much of all of crypto is currently in Bitcoin? That's, by the way, currently at roughly 60%. It tends to peak at around 70%. What we see over here is the stablecoin dominance. So how much of all of crypto is currently in the stablecoins? And there is a strong inverse correlation between this and crypto prices. So when the stablecoin dominance is high, crypto prices are low. And when the stablecoin dominance is low, crypto prices are high. And we seem like, at least temporarily, to hit some potential floor here, which might mean that some cryptocurrencies might see local tops. That being said, especially in the last few days, we do see how the altcoins tend to outperform the rest of crypto. So this is the others dominance. So this is the cryptocurrency market cap that's not in the top 10. And this did go up since beginning of November to today by 23%. It appears as if there is some kind of altcoin rotation happening. At least we see the beginnings of it. And so what was the best performer across all of the altcoins in the last week? It's Virtual Protocol. Virtual is a launchpad of AI agents on the base chain, and it almost tripled in the last week. This is the long-term chart, very impressive. And the big question is, how can we buy something like Virtual when it's not up there, but when it's somewhere down here? My answer to this question is wallet tracking. It's trying to figure out what are other smart investors doing? What are insiders doing? What are people doing that move prices? What are people doing that tended to make the right calls in the past? And so it's always nice to see what is the smart money doing, what is the not so smart money doing. For example, this over here. This is an alert that BitBoy Crypto sold virtual tokens at 1.4 cents. We don't have the alerts where he bought this, so maybe he got some allocation because he's an influencer, but he sold his allocation. He did this multiple times, by the way. And again, what he sold subsequently went up by more than 10,000%. And so yeah, BitBoy Crypto, in my opinion, is pretty much the Jim Cramer of crypto. It doesn't make sense to copy trade him, but it's interesting to see what he's doing. There are other people though that are worth copy trading. For example, over here, we've got Crypto Gains that bought the virtual token. That was at 5.8 cents. So since then, the price went up by 2,500%. Who is Crypto Gains? It's this influencer here. He tends to buy tokens relatively early, and he tends to also be very public about his purchases, which can generate, of course, a lot of attention and can bring in more investors, pushing up the price further. So he does very risky plays regularly. He's got 138,000 subscribers. And so how do we get these buy and sell signals? It's through finding the right wallets first and foremost, right? It's doing some on-chain analytics to figure out those wallets. And it's subsequently by putting those wallets in a wallet tracker and get notifications whenever they buy and sell. So over here, we've got the wallets by Crypto Gains that we are tracking. We've got 55 of his wallets. But then at a later point in time, we also see more people buying into the virtual token, the people that tend to deploy much more capital. For example, over here, we've got Kyle Chessy that bought $100,000 worth of the token, and that was at 48 cents. And so here is Kyle Chessy. He's got 137,000 subscribers. And since he bought, the price went up by 220%. We've got 12 of his wallets, and of course not every trade goes like this, but in general, right, I do believe it makes sense to follow the smart money. It is much better to follow the people that tend to make profit compared to simply just picking random tokens in a list. And so I like this approach that much that I made 8 dedicated tutorial videos just on this wallet tracking topic. They are over here. It's how to find various influencer wallets. It's how to track those influencers, and it's also about how to interpret the signals that we get from the tracking. It's all part of the premium membership of this channel that's down below, thebitcoinstrade.com. It's not just wallet tracking that we do, it's also risk mitigation, portfolio diversification, backtesting. There's more than 100 tutorial videos in total in premium. Once we've got a signal, we of course also have to discuss when should we buy, when should we sell. That's why we've got our dedicated chats for the individual altcoins as well. So feel free to check it out. It's currently $165 per month. There's also a 1-week money back guarantee. So in case you don't like premium, in case you don't learn anything, just message me within the first 7 days and I will refund you 100%. There's really zero risk for you. And so, does it make sense to buy the champ token now? I'm not so sure. I do believe that currently that rally is not very organic. It seems like there might be some manipulation going on. We've already seen this in the Twitter account. We also see this in the number of holders over time. I'm not saying that the price has to crash from here. Manipulation can go on for a while. I personally prefer tokens where we see organic growth over long term and we can then exit before the whales dump. If you got some value out of this video, feel free to subscribe. I publish videos regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. See you in the next video or see you in premium. Cheers.